Hello and welcome to the Public Arts Commission on April 25th, 6 p.m., not on the dot. I will be doing my best attempt to lead this thing today. We will begin with a call to order. We do have quorum today, correct? We do. Okay, great. And we need to do a approval of meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the 2025 March?
Sorry, you're good. You need to back up. And,
Backing up.
We need someone to motion to call to order.
Can I get a motion to call to order?
Motion to call to order.
Can I get a second? Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor? Moving on? Great. We'll get through this, guys. Okay, so now, as I was saying before, we need to do a motion to approve the March 2025 regular meeting minutes with no edits, correct? Okay. May I get a motion, please?
Motion to approve the March 2025 regular meeting minutes with no edits.
May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous, great. Tanisha with the liaison report. They're very loud today.
All right, so we don't have a ton to go through today. The first one is Art Drop Chambly, which we are currently going through. We're on day 5 right now. We have, at the time that I made this slide, we had 45 makers signed up. We've had a lot of people who also didn't sign up who are participating, which is fantastic. We have about 10 professional artists who are out dropping, which is awesome. And people have been really engaged this year. We also, and I don't have it on the slide, we also have received donations from 2 organizations. One was from Plaid Crafts, who's over in Peachtree Corners. They actually created some art drop sort of kits for us that include a piece of art that was painted by one of their staff, as well as a good chunk of art supplies. So I've been dropping about 2 of those kits every day. And then we also got donations from Prismacolor, which for those who don't know, they make markers and colored pencils and things like that. And so it's a really, really great brand. And they reached out and gave some donations, which has been fantastic. And so I've been putting those out starting today, and the rest will go out Friday and Saturday.
That's a really big brand to coordinate with. That's awesome.
I know. I'm really excited, and I'm gonna we're gonna have a meeting with the brand rep who reached out to me and see if we can do anything in the future. So really excited about that.
Yeah, that's great.
So the performance in the park, that has been going strong. We've gotten all this marketing completed and paid for and all that. So some of it is already going, some of it starts May 1st, but postcards have been printed. It's going out in the Chambly Signal. We bought an ad in Chambly Lifestyle and a few others. So that is all complete, and I did that with our marketing director. Some add-ons since the last time we talked. We've got Hapa Kitchen, which is a Hawaiian comfort food truck coming. We have King of Pops coming, and we used a little bit of our the rest of our budget on the Cool Kids face painting. They were the ones who came for Chalk Walk, and we prepay them so that it's free for anyone who comes and wants their face painted. And she's going to do some tropical designs for us. Yeah, so I'm excited about that one. Oh, and you know what I didn't put on here that I've also been speaking to the schools to get the poster in the newsletters.
Can you clarify where the location?
So we are doing it out here
Okay.
on the green space
Okay.
in front of City Hall.
Great.
Did we, I don't, Did we
what's the
decide
date
on
on
a
that?
date? I don't think I was here.
Yeah, so I believe it's the 18th, which is the Sunday.
May 18th?
Yep,
Okay, cool.
yep.
And kudos to you, Tanisha, because I have not been able to walk into a single Chamblee business without seeing your flyers there, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Was there, I can't remember, I'm so sorry. Were there 2 performances on Sunday or just
There,
one?
there are 2 performances, 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And so we're, once we get a little closer, we'll start, one of those like, know before you go kind of things, and we'll encourage people to get here by 10:30 if they're coming to the 11 o'clock, so that they can do the cultural stations and be settled by the time the performance starts. And then again, for the 3, we'll encourage people to be here and settled by 2:30. All right, Artsy Elaine, we were very close last time. I said we were completing it the next day. So that is completed. Last invoice, I said here, is in the system, but it's actually been paid. We have the paint color key. Elaine did reach out to me today, and that's what these notes are on the bottom here. The scalloped edge of the yellow scallop that you can see, they were not quite finished with this in the picture. For some reason, it's been flaking off already. So they've got their Sherwin-Williams rep doing some testing on it to see what the issue was, and Elaine and the Sherwin-Williams people are gonna fix it. So they have a plan for that, but kind of haven't finished the process yet, so we should see that coming up soon.
So there is a way to fix it without, I see the note about the pressure washing, so there's a way to fix it without having to completely restart.
Yeah, I think it sounds like maybe they're just gonna scrape that part with the scalp. It's just such a small part, and it's interesting because it is the, what do they call it, the curb and not the flat part. So it's possible it was a different mix of concrete, or like they said in here, that it just hadn't been pressure washed all the way to the edge. So we'll see on that. All right, old business, we're gonna talk William Massey. And I'm not gonna make you read this slide, I just put these notes in here because these are some answers that he gave, so that we can go back to that if we have questions. So these are some technical drawings. I'm not sure any of us here are able to speak to technical drawings.
I can see them.
Huh?
These?
Yeah.
What about 'em?
Well, just, that, Elmer was very concerned about having technical drawings and all that, and
There was
I wish he
one
was here.
that you, I guess you emailed, where you could see how much curvature it actually had.
This one
Oh,
here?
that's the one, yeah. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
The only other, my personal concern is whether the base is high enough and/or resilient enough to people, climbing on it and whatnot. It looks like you can climb on it pretty easily and whatnot. And it looks like a wonderful climbing surface if you are less inclined for the sculpture.
We'll probably definitely have a sign out there that says don't, because we don't want to have a liability for any kids climbing on there. You know what I'm saying? It's more liability than anything, I think. So, probably have a sign.
Is it?
along
Yeah.
with it. Huh?
You think so too?
Well, anything that's climbable, a child will climb on,
Yeah.
I think that-
it is a piece of art, so a lot of things, like going to Disney, it says, please don't climb on the statues and stuff like that. It's usually self-explanatory, but, definitely don't want any liability with it.
A few months back, we
What,
talked.
it's only like 15 inches high or something of that nature?
The base is, let's see,
I think you had the height on the last slide,
is it on the last stage?
10 feet.
Yeah, a foot,
Oh, okay, the base, yeah.
1.5 feet
1.5,
tall.
18 inches high. And this is going to be like, steel,
Well, if you remember, this is,
found,
he makes everything out of found, yeah.
yeah. Was it found aluminum or found steel?
Steel, I believe,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I like the piece, I don't know anybody, but I also think that it's very susceptible to vandalism.
I don't think it's any more than the sculptures that we already have out there, though. I will say that. Like
Could
the-
be, and
Yeah.
you
I
just
think
kind
it's-
of like wing it, just set it up and see how it goes?
Well, I think if it's far enough off the path, you know, if we don't put it directly on a walking path, just like the sculptures we have in front of the MARTA station already. I mean,
We have some directly on a walking path, and we
Okay.
have not had any issues like that.
Okay.
Right, the yellow sculptures never had any problem?
No.
And
Okay.
And neither have the one on the rail trail.
Uh-huh,
We've never had any issues with that one either.
the big red one right now screams like monkey bars to me. That's
Yeah,
the one-
and we
yeah.
haven't had any issues, yeah.
And then we're probably fine.
Several months back, Jody said something along the lines of like, any kind of sculpture or thing that we put down, we are assuming it's going to get climbed on. So there is probably some sort of liability protection already in place.
Well, I think we're already sort of protecting ourselves by, this base is small, right, in width, which means if someone is climbing and falling, they're likely going to fall on the grass, not on the pad of concrete, which I think does make a huge difference. If we had a 10-foot pad, then you would really have issues with people climbing it.
Although I think like I don't know, those little open areas, I mean, I can see where a kid might want to try to
Yeah.
climb in. But, as long, like Kelsey said, put a sign up.
Really think it's, and two, this is just a concept, like if we see it in person, it's like, oh, there's no way somebody's climbing up that, that might be something different too. Because these are a lot of vertical lines that I see at the lower part of the sculpture at the very least. So there's like a horizontal
Sorry.
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of vertical lines. I mean, I can see where they would have to be like 4 feet up to put their feet into some of the places, so we're probably okay.
and we picked the location that's closer to the left, as I recall, than the center of where you were standing. You were standing a little closer to the left, was that it, where they drive into the entrance?
When you drive in, it's on the right, so you're driving down the
Yes.
lane to enter the park, and the sculpture will be on the right, but not as far right as the memorial sculpture.
Right,
Yeah, so not that far, but sort of.
Yeah.
I think past there will be a new park signage and a new gate there. So I believe it's past the signage, possibly past the gate, that I'm not sure of.
yeah. What about lighting on this piece? Do we have?
Lighting is within the
Budget?
budget, yeah.
Okay, and it's,
We approved that.
what's that?
We approved the lighting.
Okay.
But overall, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think you did a good job with the concept, and I'm really excited to see it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So we can approve it now?
Yeah, I think let's go ahead and approve it, because I think this allows us to go to the next step of construction. So, yeah, if,
Wait, motion.
if someone could do a motion. I would just say, request a motion to approve the
Concept.
William Massey sculpture drawings as presented.
Brittany, I miss you.
Okay.
Motion to approve the William Massey sculptor drawings as is with no changes.
Motion.
Second?
Yeah,
All in favor? Unanimous.
The motion passes.
Oh, the motion passes.
All right.
Still miss you, Brittany.
All right, if there's no more discussion, we do not have anything under new business.
I got one question.
Sure.
The dog howling at the moon mural, a couple months ago, that was brought up with this lady threatening us.
So I believe you
What
may have
happened?
missed that meeting, but Shan had asked about this as well, so I'll go ahead and give a summary. That issue, which was Moondog Pub and Grub, we had denied their approval to continue working on the mural after they got a stop work order. The owner came in here and spoke to us and asked us to reconsider. We, as the commission, passed it on to basically city manager and city lawyer, and it was, in the end, approved to continue work. And so yeah, it's out.
No problem with the city council.
Correct, it is out of the commission's hands now, and the work has been completed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As long as I know that I don't have
Yeah,
anything.
you don't have to think about it anymore.
No power in the matter.
And secondly, Shan, you're correct. I am missing a slide. And I don't know where it went, but we were supposed to talk about the bridge weaving decommissioning on May 1st. And that's really, I've told you guys before, it's really, I'm just looking for volunteers. If you want to show up that day at 2 p.m. with wire cutters, they're looking for people to help with the process of taking that down. And we do have a couple volunteers already, so it should be a nice little community event.
And why are is it decommissioned?
It's being decommissioned because it was always supposed to be a temporary project. So it's only falling a little bit ahead of schedule. We always knew that the material used would fade, and it has faded quite a bit. And it's also because of the heat of summer, the plastic that holds the material onto the bridge melts and they snap. And so she's out there every 2 weeks redoing
Okay.
it. So the maintenance of it, it won't last another summer. So we're decommissioning before it gets too hot.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will, in the 2026 budget discussions, we can talk about again doing another project with them like that, because it was very, very well received by the community.
So it's potentially they can come back and get a permanent sort of design,
I think we would probably continue looking at
other things,
just non-permanent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've spoken to them about whether we could do something permanent, and the answer is there's just really not a material that you can both weave with that is weather resistant. That material is the strongest outdoor stuff. And so if that didn't work. But it's a conversation to
Yeah,
keep having.
okay.
All right, anything else from the commission?
That was
I
so
do have
fast.
some, I do have something, sorry, I'm gonna
What's
make
that?
it just a tad longer. When we were talking about a sign for the Massey sculpture, what is the update on the signage that we were gonna do for the
Great question.
pieces?
So we're actually fairly close. I am waiting on a PSD or other editable version of the PAC logo from the PAC member who's no longer on the PAC who created it. And that's been a little difficult to get. So if anyone has an in with her, as like a PNG, which has been fine up until this point. So I've been using it just on posters. We
Is this
need a real.
is this the PAC member that just left?
Yeah. And she did let me know, so this last time I reached out to her, she was on vacation.
Oh.
So she said, I'll get it back, and I don't know if she's back yet, but that's basically all we're waiting on. And then the sign company was gonna give me proofs to approve. But we've figured out all the rest of it. So, we're only doing sculptures at this point. And then, because that's the most labor intensive, we'll have to have those installed and possibly cement poured for some of them. And then we can move on to the ones that will just be for murals and that kind of thing. And so, yeah, we will have a sign for Massey's for sure.
One other thing, with the art festival last weekend, was there any feedback on that? I attended it, and I thought it was very, very nice. There was a few commercial companies, but they didn't seem to be, they were unique, and they weren't like offensive, or not, fancy's not the right word, but they weren't, just inappropriate. They were unique sort of companies that were, was there any other feedback on the festival?
So I actually don't have any part in that festival. It's a third party called Splash Festivals, and they interact with the city through the events planning team. And that is almost strictly just for like police and sanitation. So I don't have any part of it.
I was in Chattanooga, so.
Yeah, I've heard it was great. But I don't know anybody who was vending in it, I don't think, so I didn't get any feedback from, on that end. But I think it went well. All right, any public comment?
Silas, now's your time.
And Polina, if you could just ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All in favor? All in favor? Yeah? 2, 4, there we go. Motion, we're done, guys. Just
Motion approved, meeting adjourned.
next meeting, May 22nd at 6 o'clock.